This year, give the gift of safety, give the gift of reliability, and give the gift of all-wheel drive. Lease the proven 2018 Honda CR-V LX all-wheel drive for $199 per month. Get great features and all-wheel drive for only $199 per month. I'm Jason Perico, and there's no better gift than a Honda.
Time now for the Gannon Golden Knights Coaches Show. He is the head coach, John Reilly. Coach, welcome back.
Appreciate it.
How was the Thanksgiving?
It was busy. I mean, we always have the Gary Miller Classic, and it's always an excellent tournament. We had 4 solid teams, so it was a work weekend, but it was a good weekend in terms of just learning more about ourselves.
Of course, you don't have time for the team to run home and be with their families on the holidays, so they're with their family here again, and they're with you guys.
Right. I mean, being a college basketball player or any student athlete really entails a lot of sacrifice, but it's a good deal when you're on scholarship. I mean, takes care of your schools. So, but
yeah.
The thing with basketball is it's probably the longest running sport in terms of going usually through fall break, Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, spring break. You know, it goes through the whole thing. So when all the other people are back home, we're on campus doing our thing.
You coaches must love holidays where the thing that you do is just eat, just shove food into your face, for most of us. But that can't be the case when you got a game the next day.
Well, we're working. I mean, it's so what we normally do is we normally go earlier on Thanksgiving Day. So we went 9:30, and then we'll eat at Gannon right away. The Sisters of St. Joseph feed the homeless right at Gannon. So we'll come in, help them in terms of cleanup and things like that, and serve some people that are still there. And then we eat there, and then we always bring them out to the house later. My wife Donna does a wonderful job taking care of these guys. So we'll eat at the house, and then sometimes we'll come back and just get some shots up later in the day. So it's a busy day, but it's a good day.
Like I said, you had to prepare for the Gary Miller Classic just the next night. So game number 1, you take on a good team. I thought it was interesting. You pointed out the field was kind of comparable in that you had some leadership, but for the most part, it's a lot of really athletic yet young teams that made up the field.
All teams were like that, and with the exception of, Michigan Tech had some sophomores, and their best player was a senior. But it's some teams trying to find their way, and games were very competitive. Actually, the games really all could have went either way. The first night with Michigan Tech and AB really went down to a shot, and the shot didn't go, and technical foul was called, and the game went the other way. So, but they were all hard-fought games, and there were 4 good teams.
I'm still trying to learn your style of basketball, so it's interesting to me that when you sit there courtside, you watch these games, the fans, they react to what you would expect fans to react to. There's times where the bench, your bench, is the only people in the gym reacting to certain plays. Typically, it's deflections that to the outsider, it doesn't seem like much. To them, they know the game plan, and they know what you want from them, apparently.
Well, you hope, but there's a game within the game, and those are all those little things, whether at the defensive end, at the offensive end, and we're still trying to figure our team out. And it's been a little bit of a challenging preseason just because we've had more injuries than we've really ever have had here, and especially to 1 or 2 key guys, and it just affects some things. So we're still trying to figure out what we're all about. We're still trying to figure out offensively what we need to do, because I thought offensively the second night I thought we were very, very poor. And on paper, it looks like we were good defensively, but watching the film, we really weren't in terms of positioning and things.
Both nights, or?
Second night, especially even the first half.
I was going to say, what about the first half? You give up 11 points.
After watching it, not
could have been better.
Positioning was bad. I mean, we started showing film to our guys last night. I mean, you couldn't get through a couple clips, and just positioning all over the place. And did we do some good things? Of course we did. Did our guys play hard? Yes, they played very hard. We did some nice things, but we have a long ways to go if we want to be a contender in the league, and that's what we want to be. We want to win the league. We want to be an elite team.
I wonder if you agree or disagree. Mike Copper from the Erie Times-News, he sat beside me during the game. He turned to me at halftime the second night. You give up 11 points to Michigan Tech in the first half. He turns to me and said, "So you weren't here when they were in the GLIAC?" I said, "No." He went, That was it. That's what you would have seen.
Yeah, but I mean, the games are normally higher scoring than that. I mean, we've had a couple of those over the years, but that was a different one.
Is that ideal? Yeah, I would think that would be ideal for you, but then again, when you go back
It
and
is
look
what it
at the
is. I
positioning.
mean, every game's different. It's like playing golf. Every hole is different, and this was a different game. I mean, they're a big, strong, tough, really good shooting team, and and we do try to defend people, and we're going to try to push it, but the game definitely had a weird flow to it, and just neither team could really get anything going. And I thought both teams did some good things defensively that made it difficult. And again, we're still trying to feel our way out with, in terms of what we're running, and it was a slugfest.
Of course, it's never this simple, but that Heath kid, he heated up in the second half. He started doing everything.
I mean, you have to give him credit. I mean, it's always funny. I've been in this for so many years, and a lot of coaches never give the other teams credit, and it's always he didn't do this, and hey, sometimes they made shots, and he made shots. Now he didn't have a point at halftime, and he made shots. Now I wish we would have done some things with a little bit more urgency and a little bit. But he made shots, and he really was the difference in the game.
What do you adjust when you only give up 11 points? Probably nothing at half.
Well, we just try to, the thing I said at halftime was they're a very good shooting team. So, a 10-point lead or whatever it was is really nothing.
Yeah,
because it can go quick, and we come out and we don't score first possession, and they come down and bang a three, and we go down and don't score, and they come back and bang it two. I mean, bang, it's cut in half right away. And it's a long game, and the game, it's going to come back to you if you're well coached and you have good players. You just keep playing. We've won many games when we've been down. That's what it is. So we didn't expect them to go away, and we're a young team. We're trying to figure out how to play with leads. We're just trying to figure out how to play.
Sure.
Yeah. So every game's a new experience, and we're trying to learn, and we're trying to build on what we did, what we've done in the past, and try to get this group to really understand.
We talked about it right after the game, but I thought it was interesting to find out. I kind of figured that you had been here in your assistant coaching days for Gary Miller's, right? So I figured that out. But you came in as a challenger a couple of years. Did you win the thing?
Yes. We split. We split both years. I remember one year we played Gannon Gannon had a really good team that year. I can't remember what year it was. Actually, I was watching a little bit of film of that the other day, just trying to see what we were running offensively in that game. But we lost right at the end, and beat a really good Southern Colorado team the second night. And then the next time we came back, we beat Pitt Johnstown the first night, and Gannon popped us pretty good in the championship game. So, but it was a good experience because good teams, and our guys from Kentucky just absolutely love coming up here and playing.
We're going to take this full scope. In your career of watching basketball, who's the highlight reel player of all time for you? You're a defensive-minded guy.
When you say highlight reel, what do you
So
mean?
when I think of the typical NBA fan, they think Michael Jordan, right? Yeah. He did it all, and the dunks, everything he did offensively, how efficient he was with his footwork and how he used the space. I wonder, as a defensive-minded guy, if it's somebody that we wouldn't even consider.
the thing about Michael Jordan is he was all that, but he was best defensive.
He played
player.
defense. I knew you were going to say.
He was.
Yeah.
He was a total player. Like we're looking for total players. I've had too many good ones. I mean, I've been in 32 plus years, so I've had too many good ones. But the Gannon guys and I've had a lot of really, really special guys here. But I can go on. I can throw a couple at you, and I can't differentiate between them because Tyler Stashinsky, he's a local Erie guy, MVP of the Atlantic Regional. But he was a basketball player. Corey Knight, another prep guy. Pierre Howard from Chicago, Illinois, big time player. Joe Lindsay, from New York City, big time player. Kyle Goldkamp. I mean, I can go on. I mean, I've had great players here, and they were all, and every one of them was a two-way player. I'm not a good guy. I don't deal well with one-way guys. They can only play at one end. They can't. They don't play well for us. Just because. We're trying to get some guys now that they come in and they just define themselves by how they do offensively, and that's just a small part of it. I mean, there's so much more to the game, so we're trying to always get our guys to be complete players. But I've had so many good ones that it's really hard to pinpoint. But the one I'll end with is Adam Blazik. I mean, I love coaching Adam Blazik. Again, he was a 1,000-point scorer, but he's all-time leading steals guy and a tremendous defender. But the thing is too that all of our really good players, the thing that they have in common, they're highly competitive people. And we're playing to win. I mean, men's basketball in the PSAC is a high level. I don't know about any other sports. All I know is men's basketball. Again, I was watching last night. Again, I'm just showing, I was going through some clips of ours, just trying to figure out some things about our team. So I try to look through past teams, I'm watching us in Slippery Rock. There's not a harder fought game in the country that night than those two teams. I mean, I'm talking about every possession, defensively, offensively, and it can go through years. When we play IUP, I mean, it's the same thing. So we have a certain culture, we have a certain tradition, and we're going to get everybody's best game. And that's just what it is. So we can't afford to not be ready to compete, because we won't win if we don't compete at a high level.
Good stuff. One more question about the team, and then I'll ask you quickly about the upcoming opponents. But it would seem, when you look at the stats, that there is a lot of parity, if you will, with your forwards. That it's looking for somebody to establish themselves really and take the job. Would that be the case?
I agree. And I'm probably going to play. I'm going to play
maybe all year.
9, 10, 11 guys. I mean, we play 10 every game, but I may end up playing more depending on when we get Frank back from injury. But and I'm okay with that. We can get high level minutes, but I do want roles are being defined. That's all kind of happening. We're trying to figure it out. But hey, if guys are working their tails off in practice and there's not a lot of difference between them and they're all a little, I'm going to play them. Yeah. The key is we got to be connected when we play. And we were a little bit. This year we've been a little up and down in terms of being connected, being disjointed, being connected. It's you got to be all in, and you got to be into every play. And it's not only the guys on the court; it's the guys off the court too. In terms of the bench, it takes a while. Our team's traditionally trying to figure things out at this time of year, and traditionally we always get better in time. Wednesday
night it'll be Bowie State, and then you're into the PSAC schedule. So do you have Saturday circled or Wednesday night?
No. We have Bowie, and Bowie's a team. We beat Bowie up here 2 years ago and lost a tough game down there in overtime last year. But they're extremely well coached. They have really good players. I saw them almost beat IUP at IUP this year. They just beat a really good Augusta team, and they beat a team Foote. So they're coming in off 2 good wins. They're going to press. They're going to play some different defenses. They're going to run and jump a little bit. So we have our hands full. It's a great challenge. The thing is, our schedule, if you look at our schedule, we don't have a bad team on our schedule. The teams that, because the bad teams won't play. So these games all help us, and again, trying to figure out how to play. So we have to be playing at a high level. We have to be able to defend them. Got to do a good job keeping them off the glass, because they rebound as well as the great Slippery Rock teams. And then offensively, we got to be able to make some plays.
And as far as Saturday, we'll just pray for good weather for the trip.
Yeah, but I think it's looking pretty good. I mean, it's our whole philosophy here, Alex, as we take one game at a time. Every game's really, really important, whether it's a league game or not. We don't care, because it's the next game we're playing, and we want to win. And so that's our focus. We're not good enough to be worried about other games, and we can't show up and beat anybody. We have to compete at a high level in order to be successful in any game we play.
He is John Reilly, head coach of the Gannon Golden Knights. Really appreciate it. Good luck this week.
Appreciate it, Alex.